Morning, everyone. Take a look at all the action so far on the European markets. My name is Joseph Cusick with the Cusick Group Securities offered by MoneyBlock. If you want to check out great rates and a great platform, come back to me at jcusick@moneyblock.com. I will give you all that information. Now, taking a look at the European markets, we're seeing the euro and the British pound all trading down against the dollar. This comes after we saw Fed President and FOMC voter Patrick Harker said that a March hike is still on the table. That got the currency markets moving, and it has the German DAX moving. It's trading up about 0.6% after a better than expected or higher than expected February PMI at 57. Consensus was right around 56%, and you had the previous at 56.4. You also saw that the services PMI popped to 54.4. The expectation there again was a little bit lower at 53.6, and the last was at 53.4. You're seeing large cap names that are on the move in Germany like Lufthansa and Siemens. Gains of about 1.7% right now early in the session. You have Daimler, BMW, and Volkswagen adding between 0.7% and 1.1%. So you're seeing some large automakers on the move as well, especially since we still don't know what the Trump administration trade ramifications are going to be at this point. We are seeing financials, though, lagging, and that could be because of the poor earnings out of HSBC, but Deutsche Bank trading flat, as well as Commerzbank trading lower by about 0.3% early in the session. EWG is trading at 27.54. Again, we're going to watch that $27 level. That is the critical level that the bulls need to hold, but they are in control in Germany. Now, speaking of HSBC, let's jump over across the pond, right there, right that little canal. We're going to take a look at the UK FTSE. They're lower by about 0.1%. That's basically under pressure because of the fact that HSBC, the bank there in the UK, fell about 6.8% so far this session after reporting that their profits are down by about 62%. The other financials have fallen in sympathy. RBS, Standard Chartered, Barclays, Prudential, all down between 0.3% and 1.4%. You are seeing, though, on the upside, energy and materials. Energy names like BP and Royal Dutch, they're holding gains of about 2.2% and 1.4% respectively. You're also seeing home builders moving to the upside. Persimmon, Taylor Wimpey, as well as Barrett Development up between 0.5% and 1.3% early in the session. Let's keep an eye on that. Like I said, the Eurozone PMIs did come in a little bit hotter than expected. And so you're starting to see that growth forecast really starting to ramp up, not only in Europe. You saw it in Asia, and we're going to watch that closely here in the United States. EWU is an ETF that tracks UK stocks, trading at $31.95. Watch that $31.25 level. The bulls need to continue to hold that and have a trend to the upside if they're going to continue to have upside in England. Now, finally, taking a look at the French CAC, added about 0.2% so far this session. You're seeing exporters like Peugeot, Michelin, and Renault all having gains of about 0.5% to 1%. Financials, though, are mixed. You're seeing Société Générale, AXA, and BNP Paribas up between 0.3% and 0.7%. So they're bucking that trend that we saw from HSBC on their poor earnings report. Credit Agricole, though, off about 0.2%. We'll see if the financials start to get a little bit more volatile. EWQ, the French ETF, is trading at 25.02. We'll watch that one closely. Watch that 24.80 level. That's a level that has to be held if the bulls are going to stay in control in France. And finally, in France, watch the headlines that are coming out in the election. This is going to start to heat up. Over the weekend, The Guardian did run an article that was saying that the EU had rated one of the candidates, Marine Le Pen. She is actually one of those outside candidates that didn't really have much of a chance, but was basically carrying a big blowhorn. Well, she's starting to get some momentum, a little bit like the Trump concept. and that's being watched very closely. So we'll see if that adds a little bit more volatility into the French markets. All right, folks, that's it right now for all the action so far in the EU. We'll see how that flows over here in the States. Join me at 9:30 Eastern Time, where we're going to be going over everything that's hot on the market open here in the U.S. So join me here at MarketStream.live. See you then.